this way. Well, I can't see it.
Nope, sorry.
Yeah, I was telling
You're out of luck.
There's one person on. Okay. Waiting. So.
Is that you?
Who, me?
No, you're not on there yet. We got Jeffrey. How you doing? Manuel, hello. Sorry, as usual, I guess. It's common practice for us to be a little late. How's the lighting this time? We looking better? Hello from Georgia. Hey, Jeffrey. Yeah, we're doing good. Just, I'm not liking this lighting.
Not bright enough on you.
No, it's,
Can you pull up my YouTube channel and show
is that
them?
any better? See, well, how are you in the dark again?
I don't know. It's
Say bye.
fine. It's fine. There we go.
That's a little better.
If you sit up.
Are you bright enough now?
I don't know.
Good on lights, I hope so. Looks better. Thank you.
So everybody's 4th of July, go. Did you guys get a chance to go home, rest?
Go home, rest. Everybody got their fingers left? Get that thing up and running?
Yeah.
Good. What is what's this
I'm
doing
waiting till
here?
people get on so I can tell them to subscribe. to my
All
YouTube channel.
digits. Good. That's good, Daniel.
Good. Sadly, it's a big issue. People losing all their digits. One or two. I don't know. Maybe they need a longer fuse.
Maybe. Or just,
Stop holding them.
yeah.
I think it's
Hey, Mike.
alcohol.
When it went
I agree. Anytime, towing. There wasn't much going on the boards this week with the holiday. They were not looking too good at all.
Yeah, it wasn't looking too great. We had guys all over the place, and we're struggling a little bit to get them home.
Yeah.
We got them home. Toe Piglet, all work, no play. Where you at, Toe Piglet? Where you headed to?
Same here. We were home this weekend, but I think that we've worked on something every day this week.
Yeah,
That's why we're running late again today.
yeah, it's never restful around here. Still playing catch up from all the time we've been on the road, 6 months or more we've been on the road. I don't even know how long we've been out there.
Topegas and Cali, are you anywhere near where that earthquake was? When that hit?
SoCal. No, SoCal.
Frederick, how was the loads this past week? It was terrible. Just seemed like crickets watching those boards. We did get people moving, but it was a lot slower. And I think next time, I would just try to get everybody home during that week and
Yeah,
let them have that week off.
have some more time off. Usually freight before the 4th of July is pretty good. It's usually moving hot and heavy, and because manufacturers they're getting the stuff out. This time it was a little
Yeah. That's how it
It's a
always
little
was for you at the
slower.
railroad.
yeah.
Hi, Norman. Happy Pappy, yes, of course. She's going to be there where she always is, in between us.
And then you gonna go away?
What's your YouTube channel name? Just
Type it in.
tell me
Yeah.
what it is.
You want a shout out or not? If not, go away.
Capital N.
Let's see. That's what I was wondering where Toe Piglet is in California.
Hopefully not down there getting the shakes.
Yeah, thank you, next.
Yeah, I know that was supposed to be pretty bad.
Yeah, Jeffrey, you beat TP to the live. Thank you.
Hoping that the freight bit picks up this week, though.
Yeah, my guess since it was slow last week, I think it's gonna look better this week.
So you got a lot of knowledge of how it was with the railroad, but any of you that's done this through
Yeah,
4th of
happy
July, does it tend to pick up the following week after 4th of July?
Okay, ready? You guys better subscribe to my YouTube channel name. And all you 23 of you better be subscribed to my YouTube channel.
Yep.
Ready?
There you go. Hit enter.
We got a Justin Jr. in the making here.
So go subscribe to that YouTube channel.
There it is.
They're always-
M&K, the crazy life.
These two are always fighting over their attention.
What is OG? Old
Put her in
gangster?
the front between us. She's always in between us.
Yeah, it's time for her to go.
Jump right up.
Go on. Go do something else. Clean the house.
How's rates looking? Let's see. Topig, I guess, I was visiting his house, and the whole house started to shake. Really?
Yeah, I can
I couldn't-
imagine. Yeah, the ground just start moving underneath it. You've never been through anything like that.
No, that would be crazy.
There's been a few earthquakes in northern Ohio that we kind of felt from, farther away, but, nothing like what they're going through.
No. Was your subscriber, they all okay? Their house okay? And Jeffrey says, how are rates looking?
They're up and down.
Yeah. I mean, last week was just rough all around. But I would say when it came to rates, these new guys with under 30 days, that's tough to begin with. We kept them moving, and we kept them moving for pretty decent rate, like where we like to see them. But it was harder for sure. Overall, I think really rates are down a little bit since like the winter months, but they're still there and they're still steady. I think if you just, I mean, you got to be on it. You have to be on it.
Yeah, so Karen and I, we both got different desks, different computers, monitors. So I mean, we're on top of it, constantly monitoring them. So you got to be quick to it.
Yeah, and this week was the load boards being like as slow as they was. When something good came up, it was really gone quick. So we even had our two daughters with screens in front of them. So there was 4 of us, like 6 screens between all the devices, and going back and forth to like 6 or 7 different places looking for loads. And you just got to stay on it. And Mike, yes, they get that from Dad. Because you two have to be center of attention. Look, she's just got to be right there in the
center.
I know she's always been in the center. Hey, TR.
Wrong.
No.
TR.
And Topazlet, we're in Apple Valley, so it wasn't that bad. Well, that's good.
Yeah,
It's really good.
I've never been to California. I don't know where it's at. Guess SoCal maybe somewhere.
Topazlet, saw freight waves rates are back down to 2017.
Yeah, freight waves. Actually 16, I guess, from my understanding, is when they went really bad, and 17, toward the end of 17 into 18s. I think that's where a lot of people are getting their misinformation, is because 18 was such a good year, and they're starting to compare 19 to 18s. So freight still isn't that bad.
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, there is a little down, but we personally saw it go back up a little bit in June. Yeah, I mean, we were up in the beginning of the year, then kind of dropped down a little bit around spring break time. Not terrible, but went down, and then we saw it go back up soon as summer hits, and back down a little bit now. But I'm going to guess maybe a lot has to do with the holidays and everything going on. So I'm looking forward to starting a new week. Holidays over, no holidays till Labor Day.
Move forward, see how that looks. Which, I'm not an economist, so I'm a little unclear here of how this is going to look in the future. But the economy is doing extremely well. Some of the economists were saying, we might start having a downward trend. But the month of June was a great month. Hiring peaked back up. So a lot of it had to do with the whole tariff between China and the U.S. And soon as Trump and China started negotiating again, stock market went back up. Freight, not freight, jobs increased. So economy-wise, things are looking good. I'm still just a little unsure exactly what the freight's going to look like here soon.
And I know that we don't have that long time experience when it comes to this kind of freight, but as long as you're in the railroad, that's just for us, from what we had with him being in the railroad over 10 years, Is it just seems like a normal trend of what you saw on the railroad where things would kind of go back down for a little bit and then they would peak back up and you could work as much as you wanted and stuff was crazy and then it'd go back down. So it's almost kind of what we were seeing on that end of your freight in the railroad. So we're used to it on that end, seeing up and down. And just like when he was at the railroad, when the freight was up, worked as much as he could to save the money. And I think that's what you got to do in this business is when things are good, work as hard as you can, store that money away, be smart with your costs, keep them low.
You got to keep the costs low.
Build relationships, just all those things. TT, yeah, she's funny, peeking over the couch. And now we have a Negan. Seriously? Negan.
All right.
We got 3 of them fighting for attention here in this house.
My turn.
Anytime towing seems as though new guys are struggling on Facebook pages, experienced guys saying rates are down, surviving, lots of trailers for sale. I see that same thing, but in order to survive, I think you got to go in this and you got to be 110% dedicated. You have to go into it with the right mindset. You have to go into it being able to survive downtimes with some money, and I think that's probably part of the problem.
Yeah, I mean, every job out there is stressful, but this one, I use the word hustle. If you hustle, you'll make it, you'll do good, you'll make it work.
I agree. I mean, you gotta hustle out there, you make it work, and you have to be dedicated, and you have to keep those relationships with the brokers really good. I mean, you got to communicate with them. I know we say it a lot, and I feel like we repeat ourselves, but you have to keep good relationships. You have to make contacts. That is why we have so many of them coming back to us, because they love the job we did, the communication that we had with them. That I think is like one of the most important things. You guys are really, really taking away from Dad's time here.
You are interrupting us.
He is not happy.
Not at all.
Well, I'm checking your status, and none of them have left their subscribe.
Okay, well, you need to run along.
Yeah, you'll be all right.
Happy Pappy, compare fuel prices to rates. If both are down, you're still making money. I agree. Because when the rates went, or the fuel prices and stuff went down and we're in a different area, our costs dropped dramatically. So I agree with that.
So I mean, fuel's low, so that's always a good thing. There's a little tension with Iran right now, so I don't know if that's going to affect us in any way, but we'll just have to keep an eye on it.
Happy Pappy, scrap prices keep dropping. I don't know what that is. Like scrap metal? Why is it dropping?
Food scrap.
What?
I don't know. I'm not sure about scrap. So my guess it has something to do with manufacturing. Price of gold's still up. Gold, copper, precious metals.
So if any of you have gold.
So if you have gold, send it to my house.
Transport it.
Send it to my house.
We can be the cash for gold. Send them into our mailbox.
That'll work. Just make sure you put cash for gold really big on your envelope.
And if it happens to get lost and we don't send you money.
I'm sorry. It's lost in the mail.
All right. That is, and then Raymond said scrap prices go up and down. Watch the market. That is, the trucking business in general goes up and down. I agree, Mike. Like we were saying, it just seems like it's the same thing with moving freight with the railroad.
Yep.
Just like it's the same thing too, whether you're moving freight or if you're in the industry, in the factories, that goes up and down. So it just seems like no matter pretty much what your job is, you're going to go through this. I have a brother that's in manufacturing and maintenance, and so right now they've slowed down on MTD, where they're making mowers and snow blowers and stuff, and right now they've slowed down a little bit, so his overtime's got cut back, and it just seems like that's how it is. I guess my point is,
It's
no
like
matter what
in
your
every
job.
industry. This one's just a little bit stressful because we're owner operators, so I think that's why we're seeing so much stress. But at the same time, there's still plenty of money to be made out there.
Let's see. Hey there, checking in. Hope you had a good 4th. David, yes. We did have a good force.
Did we?
Yes.
I'm sure you found something.
I'm trying to remember what we
work-related.
did. There's got to be work-related stuff, so you don't have it all to do come Monday morning.
I don't know.
You'd rather me do it Monday morning.
I don't know. Just do that Monday morning.
Should we show them your desk and how messy it is, and you
There's
have nothing there,
There's nothing on it except for my computer.
and your chubby crayons
Actually, I'm on my desk. My Carrie's working. I'm over here
doodling,
doodling. More
sleeping, your
drooling.
feet up on the desk. So that's why I have to do stuff on our day off. But we
That's
spend
right.
time with our kids, and the biggest thing we're grateful for is just time to slow down a little bit. These last 6 months have just been fast paced. So it's kind of nice just slowing down a little bit
Yeah.
and getting stuff done around the house. When gold goes up, bad times are coming. Save your money.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things that can try to predict the future, but right now the economy's good. So let's just focus on the here and now, and it's working.
Yep. I love your videos. Thank you, Raymond. I'm happy, but the last several months, scrap has continued to drop. I forgot Jason was there. Jason, who? What's he talking about? Like it's in Freddy Krueger or whoever. Is he in the window? Is that who it is? Freddy Krueger's Jason, or is he Freddy?
I don't know.
I don't remember which one. Cash for gold is a scam. My friend gives 90% spot price.
Cash for gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Railroad is slow right now. Figures it's
Yeah, I mean, it's always like that. 4th of July and a couple weeks after that, then it picks back up.
Michael. Speaking of Michael, how are things going with you? If you don't want to answer in here, you let us know. We were talking about you today. How are things coming along? Still hoping to get rolling soon. Raymond, my son, working at Railroad. He's still working.
Yeah, Raymond, where does he work at? What railroad? Anytime towing.
Well, that's hopefully everybody's okay there, and no problem. Anytime you need anything, just let us know. We'll try to help you. Robert, I'm glad you made it.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, what do you have to talk about from your past week, Justin?
Well, Jimmy said something here.
Are you guys done trucking for now? Yeah, we're off the road for right now. I guess as long as we need to be.
Yeah, we're just focusing on taking care of our drivers and dispatching.
So, like, even since we got home, not last week, but the week before, it's been hard because we're dispatching for our drivers and dispatching while trying to get everything in actual order, like the business part of it, the files, just all that sort of stuff. And so, there's a lot to it. I don't think people understand how much there is to the business part of it, whether you're CDL or non-CDL, the business part of it still, there's a lot to do.
Yeah.
So we're going to stay off the road, I guess, as long as we have to. I do miss it. I'm glad to be home and slow down and enjoy our house and get things done. But it was nice being out there. And
yeah, I kind of miss it. It was nice. Actually less stressful than being at home.
Yeah, it's just neat though, seeing all the different things and places and stuff. So we've talked about it. We probably won't ever go back to the point where we were, but it'd be nice to just go out every once in a while. And
yeah, my goal is to, if I don't hit the lottery anytime soon, we'll hire some dispatchers hopefully, and Karen and I will get back out there a little bit more.
yep, it's just that's the nice thing about it, because if we want to go out just to go out or go out to get some extra money, you just jump in the truck and go.
Hit the road.
Mm-hmm.
Buy silver, it's still goodbye. Yeah, I agree. Silver's always pretty steady.
How many drivers do you have? Company drivers, we will have 5.
Yeah, we got 3 right now.
3 right now, and 2 more starting within by the 22nd.
Yeah.
So we'll have 5 company drivers, and dispatch right now, 6.
We have 6.
I think so.
Yeah. That many.
Yeah. So that's what we have right now. Seems like quite a bit, but you have some that want to go home for a little bit or have things going on. So there's always some coming off the road and some others there.
Yeah, it works back and forth.
Mm-hmm. But we have a good group of guys, both dispatch and our guys, all very hard workers. Couldn't have asked for a better group of people.
Is that what
Is that all you're thinking about?
I want to.
I wondered why you're half listening to me and looking around.
I wasn't listening at all.
Because you're worried about your lighting. Seriously.
I think we need lights above us.
So thanks to why we're kind of waiting for everybody to get in here. For everybody that's been liking and subscribing.
Yeah, we're up to, is it still 950? Thank you. Thank everybody that's subscribing and everybody that's on here. We really appreciate it.
I know if we get, hopefully by the time we do our next live, we won't have to do it this way. We can actually have it set up better. That'd be really nice. Jeffrey, owner rent. Do your drivers have their own trucks? Yes, they have their own truck.
Owner operators. I don't think any of them lease. We got a couple dispatch that are leasing.
Leasing their trucks.
Leasing their trucks, yeah. But all their guys, they have their own trucks.
Yep. New hot shotter watching. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you can get something useful.
Yeah.
Out of this. And before we forget, I'll put in our email if anybody has any questions or anything. You can email us, and we'll do our best to try to get back to you guys as quick as possible. Happy Pappy forgot how many you're dispatching. That's why there have been 4 drivers sitting in a truck with no look.
4 drivers sitting in a truck. Well, he's saying 4 drivers all together in one truck.
I guess.
Maybe that's the problem.
Maybe they're messing around. All we know is we post them on the board, got them pulled up, and we find them drivers. No, I wasn't sure because we just added 2 this weekend. I knew we were at 4, and we added 2 this weekend that start tomorrow. So, we're going to get started. Just use all the advice I can get. Well, I just put her email up, so if you have any questions, we'll try our best to help you. Looking for any drivers. Maybe a little bit down the road, maybe.
Yeah, we got a lot of people that's inquiring about it, so we might have to make a list, I guess.
Same thing with dispatch.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people, so we may have to do that. But are you doing CDL or non-CDL? What's your plan? I'm not sure why Raymond said maybe. I think sometimes, I don't know what people's talking about. Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe I know, maybe I don't.
Maybe you're a dork.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
In front of all these 40 people.
I know, a whole 40 people.
It was 41, but you lost one. All that rambling.
Maybe if you're paying attention instead of looking around, planning how to put more lighting.
We gotta make this better.
So how's everybody else doing? How are they seeing the loads, the rates, and everything like that this week? I agree with Happy Pappy. The only foolish question is the one you don't ask.
That's right.
I agree. Completely agree.
As in, for getting into hot shot, just a lot of YouTube videos out there. Just watch them, but in my opinion, do your own research. If you got any real technical questions, just call the FMCSA yourself and get those answers. there's a lot of confliction out here, which you're going to get a lot of confliction on that too. But it's better just to get it right from the, I guess, the horse's mouth.
I think when it comes to everything else, what truck you should get, what you should do, blah, blah, it's good to see what everybody's doing, but then you need to figure out what works best for you and not just go off of something because somebody said so. Just listen to people and what they're seeing, but then I think it's best for people to make their own
judgment.
Mm-hmm. And Efren said, plan is 9 with a dually and a 40-foot if I can find a good one. Let me just suggest, if you can, I suggest CDL. It's not going to hurt you to have one. It's not going to make a difference. It does, however, open up more loads to you. So there's been plenty of times if Justin didn't have a CDL and we were in an area that's a little bit tougher to move on, we wouldn't have got moved without that CDL.
I agree.
And this past week, all of the guys were non-CDL, and we could have moved them 10 or 15 times if they had a CDL because of the more loads that were available to them. So in our opinion, it's never good to limit yourself. I mean, what does it hurt to have the CDL? I guess is the way we see it. What does it hurt to have it? But that's what we see out there. And that's what I would suggest. But once again, I think it's something you do your own research. But just remember, the more limitations you have, the more loads you're going to miss.
Right. Yeah, and there's someone out there, maybe PP. He wants you to hit that smash the like button, but he might disagree with us a little bit. So there's my opinion. Do your own research. What you feel like you want to do.
I agree.
It's more options.
Yeah, and like I said, everybody's situation is different. So maybe, he sees it a little bit different. And maybe it's the area, maybe it's whatever. But what we're seeing and what we're seeing out here, that's what we would suggest. But
Right.
You got to figure out what's best for you. And also, if you want to do more partials, that opens up how much weight you can put on there for partials. That's helped us a lot too when we've done 2 or 3 partials. We tend to not do them, but
It's do your own research. What you want to do out there.
yeah. And that's why these videos can be helpful as long as you take it and just listen to what everybody's saying, but apply it to your own situation.
And I agree with Happy Pappy. Real quick, Mike, he said, I'm a CDL hot shot. He's busy. But there's freight both ways here. Happy Pappy, ignore the ones claiming to get rich. They are dreaming. I agree with that. If you're coming in a hot shot and expecting to get rich, it's not going to happen. I don't know. I don't know where to go with that.
Everything else you do in life, you're going to get what you put in and out of it. So you're not going to come into it. I think that's probably part of the reason that a lot of people are failing and stuff. I'm assuming they hear people say, well, you make $20,000 a month or do this or that. Well, you may be able to make that, but you got to take your cost down. You got to do all these things, and you got to reserve money for anything. And then you have downtimes like this. And so I think people are thinking, oh man, 20,000 a month times however much, I can make this amount of money in this amount of time. And so they go into it without realistic expectations.
Keep your costs low, and more importantly, just be successful in any business, especially, even apply it to just your house, housing, financial part of it. I don't know how to say that. House finances, personal finances. Thank you.
Like budget.
You got to know where your costs are. So that's the biggest thing. Know where your costs are. What is your percentage per mile? You got to know those facts and figures.
See where you can save money. We're usually looking at this over and over again because you got to know where the stuff is and where your money's going and see where you can save it. And it's very important. I think that's another reason people got to be dedicated in keeping up with the stuff and making budgets. Because if you're not dedicated on that end, I mean, that's an important part of it, like the financial part
Yes.
and all that.
So you got to know what your bottom dollar is to make any money. Jeffrey, air ride or not? We got a video out there. You're right, you're wrong. I'm right, you're wrong. Whatever it's titled. It really depends on the market you're in at that moment. So there's pros and cons with air ride. So I don't know what to say. It's almost one of those things. If you have the money for air ride, maybe just go ahead and do it. One of the downfalls, northern part of America during winter, you got the issue of those things freezing up. At the same time, you got the issue of it just breaking down at any time just because there's more parts to it. But then some of them, one of the axles rise up while you're without a load. So it just kind of, there's pros and cons with it. Maybe just do your research. I'm not against air ride, but I'm okay, and we're doing okay, and our guys are doing okay without air ride.
Yeah, I really do think it depends a lot on where you're going to be and where you're going to mainly work on of.
Yeah, so if you're down in the south, more toward Florida and Georgia, we see a lot of air ride loads down there.
We saw a lot in Texas.
We've seen a lot in Texas. You come to northern Ohio, and it's few and far between.
Yeah.
So again, it depends on your market and what you want to do, and you got the money to spend. So Skullhead, you're charging 10% when others are charging 8%. There's other companies out there also charging 5%. You can probably get lower than that. There's also companies out there charging 12 to 15% dispatch. There's no industry standard on what to charge for dispatching, but also you get two people at that 10% rate. We are 100% dedicated. At the beginning of all this, we contact other dispatchers have contacted us, and they were worthless. They would call, and they'd want us to be empty before, they found us another load, and they both charge us 10%.
We've had some that they wanted you to pay a fee for the week, like you paid $250 or $350 or whatever it was for the week. Well, that's fine if you end up grossing more than that and it comes out less than 10% or 5%. But what's going to make them want to put 100% dedication into you when they're like, well, I'll just still collect my whatever this week. Yeah. It makes you work that much harder. And, it goes with, honestly, our time. We have our own company drivers right now. And so we decided, we had people asking us to dispatch for them. And we saw a lot of people are doing 10%. And we decided in order to make it worth our time that it had to be 10%, because I don't know if people understand it's not really just sitting at the board. You find a load, you call, and that's it. I mean, there's days that we've spent 8-10 hours trying to find a driver a load, and we didn't. And so we lost all those work hours for nothing. So if you really break down dispatching over the week and what you put into finding those loads, even at 10%, I don't even think it comes out all that much an hour.
Yeah, I mean, 2%, that 2% will never make or break you. So if you want to go for a company, it's 8%, 5%. That's your call. But the ones that we try to deal with at the beginning, which we never reached out to them. They always reach out for us, and it's kind of more of if you can find us load. But each time they say, okay, let us know when you're empty. I don't want to be empty. I want you to have a load ready for me so I know where I'm going and that load's guaranteed. That's the kind of work we are providing with our dispatch.
And we put a lot of time into making these connections with brokers and stuff. And so if we're going to use those people that we worked hard to build up relationships for, that's another thing that's got to be worth it to us. So we went about it. We kind of found like a middle ground of what everybody seems to charge, and that's what works for us. And it seems to be working good right now. We kind of got people that are on hold till we can be able to provide more attention to them.
So that's kind of cutting off. Someone said watched our videos and TV. or TP, sorry, Toe Piglet,
I remember you saying.
understand both sides. I'm assuming about the CDL versus
Probably.
non-CDL. So I mean, it's what you want. You know, if you don't want to mess with this IFTA and IRP plates, you know, there's pros and cons, I guess, both sides. So.
But I wouldn't let the IRP or IFTA scare you off because it's really not that big a deal.
No.
And when it comes to what, Toe Piglet says, he is out on the West Coast. Maybe he sees things differently out there, but we just don't suggest you do one or the other. Like, why? But why not just?
Right. I like more options. He wants to know where regulation books. Is that what he's saying? Why is my mind going blank? You can find them off FMCSA website. That's where I have all mine. That's where I do my research. But also, Amazon's a big place for, I guess, it's Keller. Someone help me out here.
JJ?
Yeah, JJ Keller. They're big in the transportation industry. Look them up. JJ Keller. They got their own website, but also they sell their regulation books, and many other books that they have that you can find on Amazon a little bit cheaper than their website.
Yep. David said, "You're happy? I'm getting my CDL. I passed the written a little over a week ago. It's not that hard, and like I say, it just keeps more options and door open." Agreed. Just especially, with everybody talking about how the freight's supposed to do this or slow down or whatever, keep your options open. My great rates, good loads, had one issue, got a load in Missouri and didn't specify the load was her wide load. He said hot shots only get paid, oh my gosh, $1.43 for oversides. Oh, I don't know any hot shot that should get paid $1.43 for anything a mile.
Never.
Let alone a hot shot load. That's. I hope that you told them, forget it. I'm averaging 3,500 miles a week to 37, and I don't take loads under $1.90 a mile. Agreed.
That's good. I mean, there is money out there, and those freights. There are those freights out there. You just. You can make it work.
Yep. And then he said, I have a 40-foot air ride, best decision ever.
Well, Mike likes it.
We don't know enough, especially in our
area. Again, pros and cons both ways. So just do a little bit of research on air ride versus air ride, and I'm not against them.
Mike, are you in the southern states?
And where are you at, Mike?
What do you guys think about the Northeast? The Northeast is typically really good, but your costs are going to be higher.
Yeah, definitely the cost, and then you got to deal with
HUD in New York.
You got to deal with their driving.
Oh, is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, can I just say it that way? Sorry if you're from the East Coast. You go down south and you want to merge into a lane, more than likely people are going to back off and let you get over. Over on the East Coast, they'll just cut you off and they don't care.
Northeast is definitely not a very inviting area in a whole.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so anyways, the point with that was it typically does good. There's a lot of machinery and equipment that seems to be moved up there. It pays well, but if you're going to go run a lot in the Northeast, just expect your fuel to be higher, your cost overall to be higher. There's a lot of tolls. There's a lot of things that go on up there. So
the roads suck.
The roads are horrible. So just you got to plan that accordingly on your bottom dollar of what you would take per mile when you run in that area. Where when you go down south, your costs will drop significantly just by saving in the fuel and things out of that like that. You're in New York, then if you're in New York, there's a lot of stuff that you could run pretty much back and forth for the most part between Pennsylvania and New York.
Yeah, I mean they're plentiful up there. You'll do fine in New York.
You're just gonna have to pay more tolls and stuff. So make sure you're figuring that into your bottom dollar. My dispatcher gets 12%. It's worth every penny.
So,
Agreed, Mike.
Yeah. So 12%, there is no industry standard on that.
And Mike, something Justin said before, do you want to get 90% of $5,000 or 100% of
Nothing.
nothing or $3,000 or whatever, especially when you start out. I'm all for people that are able to do this on their own, or they get started and they go off on their own. But I think when you start out and you're your only person doing it, there's no reason not to have help. And with people like us, we're not exclusive. So if you still want to be on those boards and trying to find your loads, do that. But why not just tell somebody, this is where I'm going to be, and if they come across a good load for you that you may not have seen, what does that hurt?
Helps you get a better load. You have to compare fuel costs, IFTA, IRP, equipment, wear and tear, CDL versus waiting longer for a non-CDL load. Definitely pros and cons.
I'm assuming he's talking about
Non versus CDL.
Oh, I thought he was talking about New York.
It says waiting longer for non-CDL loads.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Because if you got a CDL load, you're more than likely going to be able to find a load quicker than non-CDL,
Right.
And you're going to be able to find one usually that you can run dedicated. That's 99% of the time what we did, and we've been doing with our guys this week. We may call several times. We caught up this week, and they had a really crappy rate on it, like $1 a mile. And we say, well, our guys hotshot, that's going to fill up their trailer. And they say, how much can you run it dedicated? And a lot of times they doubled the money or almost doubled the money.
I got somebody that loaded this week that doubled the money because it was dedicated.
Yep.
They go back to their customer and say, I got a guy that wants to run this dedicated. He'll get to point A to point B faster than waiting for someone to partial it. Sometimes that can be done.
Those 5% dispatchers don't even return phone calls.
Yeah, I believe that.
It's another situation where you get what you paid for. And stress again, in our situation, we're not in it to make a bunch of money. Like I said, barely 10%. Sometimes it's barely worth it. But, we're not going to keep adding people just to rake in as much money, because then we start not being able to give them much time. So that's kind of why we've put a cap on where we want to be before we add anybody else, so that we can keep giving them a bunch of time.
Of course, I like to make money, but more importantly, taking care of the business is more important. So, taking care of business means taking care of our people. Dispatching.
Negan, what is your problem?
What's wrong, buddy?
Quiet.
Dave, still on the fence.
On what?
I guess getting into hot shotting.
Oh.
Maybe. I say just jump off the fence and I don't know. I don't want to talk into hot shotting. That's your call. It can be rough, but it can be rewarding at the same time.
Oh, can I choose where I want to go when you get me to the house on weekends in Michigan? You can.
You back?
I'm ready for people.
You can kind of decide where you want to go. For the most part, we kind of always was able to do that for ourselves. Like say, we don't want to go here or that. If you got a CDL, you have more choices in that. Typically, if you live in Ohio, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Indiana, you should be able to get return trips home
Usually
on the weekends.
Coming from the east is usually better going to these areas.
I'm not going to promise it's something you could get every week, but except for the weeks that we wanted to stay out longer, we came home every single weekend, and every single time except maybe one or two, we came home with a load on our truck to drop off Monday morning.
Yeah. And also we're not exclusive. So if you want to find your own load, like Carrie said, that's your call.
Yep. So we even did that, even though I did all of our dispatching. We had a couple people that we reached out to that worked within a broker that, every day we just sent them a message, said, this is where we're at. And they put us on their board. And if they found us a load, they found us one. If they didn't, they didn't. IRP at 42,000, then you should be able to pull quite a bit.
Yeah, that's pretty good
that's
there.
definitely going to help you. Where's the German Shepherd?
Mimi!
Back there.
Mimi!
Surprised he's not in the here somewhere. Oh, there who've been there since the start. What does that mean?
What are you talking about?
Happy Pappy.
I don't know. I think you're skipping people.
I said so because
Yeah.
Skullhead and Josh are having a conversation about where they work. I forgot Mike, my buddy's non-CDL, same dispatcher. He loads the same amount of miles as myself with CDL. Which it can be done. We have non-CDL, so we've been working and we've been keeping them moving. Our point is, it's just harder sometimes.
Yeah.
There was days that.
Well, we had brokers too calling us for loads that, 13, 14,000 pounds that we just, we couldn't dispatch out.
Yep. So then Happy Pappy.
Everything messed up on my screen.
He says, Foley Carriers do it all too. They are who I've been with since the start. Oh, you mean as in dispatching and everything? And the Josh's and Cadillac.
You were up there, laugh out loud.
No, Toe Piglet, we don't mean that we bought their trucks and trailers, that they're actually owner-operators, but that's just how we refer to them sometimes in order to, I guess, explain the dispatch from.
Yeah, I know they're
Not
owner-operators.
dispatch.
They own their own trucks, trailers. I guess to simplify it, run under our authority, and we are fully dispatching them.
Yep. Dispatchers.
Jimmy Johnson. No, we can't be having that conversation, Jimmy. Mike can't be giving that information out.
Mike, Northeast. I run everywhere east of Colorado. Do you ever have any problem with your air ride then? Just curious. I wondered how it does up in the east in the winter.
You got to put alcohol in it, keep it from freezing up, or you just never had that issue. It also doesn't have a spinner.
They said New England is high, but they pay great and people are jerks, but ideal. I agree. We deal with it too. We spend a lot of time in there. It's just one of those things. You just deal with it. There's a party tonight, apparently.
Party?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to talk Harry into a pontoon boat. Party boat.
Maybe. Justin's hoping to have a boat by Tuesday.
By Tuesday.
We'll see. We'll have to show everybody that. That's where he wants to take his
There's the GSD.
Negan.
Come
on, get down.
You're kind of interrupting us.
He's probably got to go out. Go lay down, Negan.
This is
Negan, go lay down. You can't steal the spotlight. I agree with you guys totally. Personally, we should all work together, help each other out, just like you share your experience with us. That's complete 110% how we feel. This should be about helping each other out as much as you can.
That's what I like about this.
Sharing your experiences.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, that's one thing I like about going to YouTube, and I've had a lot of people share their experience with me, and it helped me out. I would have never went to YouTube. I would have never got to meet some of these people and, have their experiences.
Mike said, Skullhead, in my opinion, if you can stay on the memo 2 weeks, you're making money. Mike, I agree. We just came home a lot on the weekends just because of our situation, our kids, and we still did very well. So we did, but we've stayed out longer too. And if you can do it, great. You're going to keep moving.
Absolutely.
Loved your old videos when you were with him. What do you say?
Mike, we're a little confused here. I love your videos.
Are we over the road, maybe? Well, there's Robert. He does exist.
Yo.
Where have you been?
Robert.
You back on the road? Enjoy your, well, you're probably going out tomorrow, aren't you? Enjoy your time off.
Better. I think he's saying shout out to Robert there. Where is he still there? Yeah, he's been home all week. I see it down there.
Ant Mound on
Ant
the road
Mound.
again.
Not again. Just so everybody knows, Ant Mound, I don't know your channel. I'll give you a shout out. He's got a YouTube channel. He's trying to get off the ground. So
Go check him out.
yeah, Ant Mound, if you want to put that down there somewhere to people come check you out.
We're doing TP and the Dooley family. Well, if we planned on staying on the road on a regular basis, we'd probably go bigger and longer trailer.
Go big or go home, right?
Yep.
Yeah, no, I should have started out with the Dooley, but my F-350 single wheel it I think just it pulls all day long. I've never had any kind of issues with it, no stability issues. So I mean,
We did
I
just
like
fine.
it. Yeah, it does great. I kind of waited out back and forth on the issues, but just a little bit higher maintenance cost on it, and fuel economy is a little bit lower. Is just kind of one reason I went with what I went with.
How's your driver farm to New Mexico been doing? We had some that was down there. They didn't live there. And to get them out and to get back east was tough. And like we said, we're not even going to pretend that we know anything about going west. So, I mean, Toe Piglet seems to know a lot about the West Coast. That seems to be where he runs a lot. So, actually, I like some more insight on the West, too.
Yeah,
if he's willing to give it.
Yeah, both those guys that were there, especially was it last week that one of our guys were there in Farmington. He had to get back to Texas. So in some ways, I wish we were able to push him toward the west a little bit, just kind of.
I think we could have moved him more west. There were some ones that came up that were decent that was going west, but he had to get back to Texas for the 4th of July, so his wife wasn't angry with him. But so we don't really know much about it. The couple times we've had somebody there, they've had to move somewhere else because they really didn't want to go west. But I actually would like to know more about the west, once you get further over there, how things move and all that, but we don't. Can we start over? Well, you can start the video over.
Yeah, I mean, the party didn't start until Jeff showed up, so
right.
I mean, it's 52 minutes that he missed. That was nothing important.
Robert's been playing hard at the lake all week. That's what Justin's trying to do, get his boat and get out this week. He has a boat. You guys will ever in Ohio have to come by and.
If not, we go fishing anyways.
Yeah, we live on the lake in a lake community. Does the JJ Keller background checks? Oh, I see. Drugstore and they do ELD. I see. I never heard of them. Have you?
Who is it?
Foley Carriers.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe, I don't know.
Let's go ahead. I still have your email stuff you sent back to you. Okay, sounds good. Fishing the freights, South Georgia.
Fishing the freights.
Yeah, I know he had a better idea staying home this past week and fishing.
Maybe not a bad idea. When do I get to go fishing?
You've been out fishing with John?
Oh, yeah.
I know. He ready to get back moving? I tell you, he's a mover. Michael Rosenberg, I have my own authority. You willing to do some dispatching for me? Michael, send us an email. It's up there. I can put it back in again, and we'll, discuss it.
Yeah, Michael's. You're putting that up there.
Yep.
So, let's go ahead. How do you get paid? For dispatching, you set up your own broker, factoring company, but we recommend RTS. So that's who we recommend to get paid, especially for our dispatch guys.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have one, RTS is really good. It's a flat 3%. There's no other fees. There's no fees for ACH. There's no fees depending on how much you spend. It's just flat 3%.
No recourse.
But if you're asking how do we get paid for dispatching, you just get invoiced. We don't want anything to do with your pay or anything like that. So we just invoice you for your loads. That not good, Mac, not money if you stay home. Well, unfortunately, if you're trying to grow something, sometimes you have to do that. So we're willing to, got ourselves in a situation where that's possible, and we're willing to stay home. Jet skis and water skiing. You gonna have a video on that?
I'm sure he will.
Yeah, I know. Sounds fun.
Well, my problem is, why didn't he invite us?
I know.
I thought we were friends, Robert.
Sure, if you wanted to drive all the way down to Georgia,
I would too. That's what we do for a living.
just drive. He has electrical issues with A-Ride.
Thermal braking. Yeah, so yeah, I mean it's the pros and cons of air ride. You got another feature that's able to break down. So I mean if you break down, you don't have air ride anymore. So
One of those things, pros and cons. You gotta figure out what works for you.
yeah.
Agree that we should share our own experience. TP did a video about the freight. I think there's enough to go around. Agree.
I agree with that. There's still some places out there that are saying we're short on drivers. I just seen an article, actually a couple articles where people are bringing people from overseas, more importantly, people from India, put them in these trucks because they're saying we don't have enough drivers, which is a little discouraging. I think there needs to be a balance happening here.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of don't see, I don't know, it's just tough to see. I mean, there's more than enough freight, but also I think sometimes they're trying to bring in too many drivers and trying to run them for too cheap for people that will run really cheap, company drivers and stuff. So I don't know. Robert's out boating. Wish we could be out boating. Uses alcohol in the line. I do not use alcohol in the lines. They'll eat the rubber hoses.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Dustin, is it a hassle, expensive to add a lease driver into your MC insurance? Not really a hassle. As easy as sending our agent their license, their truck and trailer info. Expensive. Ohio don't really have that much expensive insurance, so it's not that bad when you weigh out, what they're going to bring you in the long run. So ours is just included in their percent. So it's just they pay the percent. That's it. We take care of that insurance for them. Just a heads up, I'm reaching out to all the regulars.
All the fam.
Yep. That's a good idea. Get as many perspectives as you can.
Good idea.
I really appreciate the info. Thinking about getting into hot shotting. I guess do your research, look into it. There's a lot. It can be a good thing. Michael loves going to the West Coast.
Where are we at here? I missed something.
We're under. Go past Ant Mound. Where are you at?
I missed
I don't know.
We got Jeff.
Well, I'm going to the West Coast.
Yeah.
Do you really find lots of loads in Cali? I wondered how that worked.
I guess there's load in between Cali to Cali, interstate.
Yeah, that's what we've heard. But like again, we said, we're not even going to try to pretend we know anything about out there. But I wondered how California did. But I just wondered how the prices are compared to
the side of the world.
Yeah, and their expenses and everything.
You have Tony Fox and my name hot shot.
Yeah, I said, do your research. If there's anything we can do to help.
Always find loads in Cali.
That's what I was just talking about.
So I'm trying to catch up here.
Now we're at you food guys, and so
I scroll all the way to the bottom.
So I was confused by that, but he means you Ford guys.
Oh, you food guys. I like food. Speaking of, I'm kind of hungry.
You food guys, you Ford guys.
Yeah, don't beat us up. We know we don't like stuff that breaks down and We like stuff that can tow more.
Michael was in Ohio 2 days ago. Where were you at in Ohio? Northern, Southern Ohio?
I gotta look on top of this boat. Where at? Jimmy, sorry, lady. Disrespectful to give her channel.
To give their info, I guess, because he's asking about dispatch. I'm in need of dispatcher. I think it's time. Where do you mainly run out of, Jeff? Michael emailing us. Jimmy, when are you? He said they're not taking any more, Mike. When are you wanting to start? Is there a lot of oil fill loads on the load boards? I watch a lot of hotshot driver videos and don't see a lot of hotshot oil fill freight. Is there not a lot of these loads? I don't know much about oil fill for hotshot. Do you?
No, I don't know a lot about it. I guess that might be more of a little specialized market where they have their people lined up to run their loads for them.
Yeah.
My understanding is those oil fields, those places are rough. They're dirty. They beat up your equipment quick. But I guess they pay well.
Let's see. They need mine's bad. I don't know what that is. Are you guys seeing more loads and better rates? We were just talking about it last week. The loads were not very good, but that was a holiday. Before that, I don't know. I'd say it's load-wise, it was pretty typical on what's out there. Same with rates of what it's been for a while. Don't you think so?
I think so. And I think a lot of the problem is, my opinion, there's too many brokers. What these brokers are doing is they don't have a contract with the place. They're able to go on to a screen and make bids, which Robert did a video on that. And so then a lot of them, since there's so many brokers, it's very competitive. So the person that gets the lowest bid wins that. And I think that's, it kind of falls back on us where, they're pushing these cheap bids on us when there's actually good brokers out there that want to make money. So in my opinion, I think there's too many brokers and it's affecting us.
Yeah, they're going in and underbidding each other by a lot. There's one in specific, I won't say their name, that it seems like you'll see these other brokers posting it up because they posted to see, to get a bid from a carrier, and then they take it back to the customer. Well, you'll see this one specific broker where these other guys may have it up for, say, $2,500, and everybody's in the same area. Then all of a sudden, this one specific broker will be the only one you see have it up later, and it's for like a third of the price that it originally was up for. And I think they just go in without even having a carrier take it, undercut all the other brokers, take it for cheap, and then they find some idiot to take it for nothing.
Yeah, we had a broker friend that was trying to make a bid for us on one load, and I think she was around 2,000 on that. Didn't we see it later on since she didn't win the bid for like 800?
Yeah.
So I mean, she was at the $2,000 range, which I think was slightly under $2 a mile.
Yeah.
And later on, we see on the board for 800.
It was a pretty good sized load, like 24 feet, and I forget the weight, but it was at where it should have been. So there's several companies out there that pull that.
Because they know someone's going to take it. Stop taking cheap freight.
Josh has to do a lot of motorcycles as partials.
A lot of motorcycles.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. We never did any of them.
Yeah, I see them when I do see them. I've seen 2 or 3. But they're always saying they want someone that understands motorcycles that can load them and unload them. But more importantly, have the equipment to strap them down correctly. So they're out there. There's just not a lot.
And like Robert said, usually they're in enclosed trailers, and
Yeah.
that's true. I've seen that they want them in enclosed trailers, or I've even seen some, wasn't it, motorcycles that said you had to have experience with hauling motorcycles or
Well, that's kinda what
something.
I was trying to say.
Oh, I think I zoned out. No, he's like, you don't zone out. I was fishing early this morning, South Georgia. I let my toe weeks off. Glad everybody's going fishing. We live right here in the lake and we haven't fished yet.
Robert don't fish.
What does he do? You were fishing with a video. Hopefully you don't fall overboard. Well, he's on a jet ski.
That's true.
Do you guys have a good lake around there? Because Lake Erie around here is just polluted.
Caught on
But
fire back in the 70s. It's so polluted.
lake we live on is pretty nice, but it's not all that necessarily big.
Big enough to fish, maybe someday.
And to take a boat down on.
Party boat.
A party boat.
That's what they call it.
The pontoon boats.
Which we don't have friends though. Just me and you.
I guess so.
I'm not taking the kids.
When I do get loads paying anywhere from 3 to 5, often when I'm taking military load, I find when you are about hauls, they pay well. Oh, short hauls. Yeah, they do pay pretty well for short hauls.
Yeah, I like short hauls better myself.
Especially if you tell them that, you know it's going to take most of the day.
Yeah.
And Michael was just in Columbus. You wasn't all that terribly far from us.
Well, we're just down there on the 4th. That's what we
Oh,
did,
yeah.
4th.
We went to Columbus. Yep, we were on 4th of July. We went down to Columbus to get down there and find some of the places we were going to were close. But it's a good day. You still got to go to Field and Stream. And
Yeah, got some ammo.
hello from Colorado. I'd love to go out to Colorado. Here it's pretty.
I've been there before.
Jeff, is he just in Columbus too? Or is he saying, what was this comment?
Columbus, Ohio.
Is that where you're from, Jeff? Oh, I think I did ask him where he's running out of. So you're in Columbus, Jeff? Ohio's a good area. What about running into Alaska and Canada? I've seen a couple Alaskan loads, but they usually want team drivers.
Yeah, I think being this, well, just speaking of Canada real quick, they pay very well. You gotta have special permits to get up there. But they do pretty good, especially if you're around New York. New York,
Yeah.
around Buffalo area, they're always running out of Canada. As for Alaska, I think being this part of the world, we see very few Alaska loads, so really can't comment too much on that.
And when they are from over here, they're team, but West might be different, But that one we saw that was for a team, what was that up to? Like 16,000 or something they were paying for it? Not that far back.
They want a team.
Yeah. Usually you have to get a connect to direct. Yeah, that's what I heard, that you had to have a kind of a connection to get an oil field. So you even have to as a bigger driver. My brother has a company up in the Dakotas for oil fields, and that's how, only way people tend to get in is if they know somebody.
Yeah.
Jimmy, I'm using dispatch currently, but not keeping busy enough. Give us an email, Jimmy. Maybe we can help you or direct you. If we can't help you, just
See what we can do for you. See where we can put you.
You would be best to answer his mess.
Well, my trailer's dual 44-footer. That's a big trailer. Can haul 15 with no problem. Shoot us an email, how it's Skullhead. I mean, there's so many variables with year F350, year ratio. There's a lot of variables. We'll have to talk about it.
Henry, missed you guys. Yeah, Justin, missed you guys too.
Yeah, we did.
He's been working all day to hurry and get to live tonight.
Yeah, I'm here. Jerry didn't want to be.
Here he was working.
It's time to put down the computer.
Let's see when you're ready.
You're on.
Is he talking to us? I'm Gear on Transport LLC when you're ready. Ready for what?
Yes, dispatch.
Oh, well, I put our email in there. Lowball each other. They keep 90% of the money for themselves. Yeah.
It's quite sad.
It's sad. That truck, that's what I was trying to think of, that tanker truck that we brought up there. They was keeping, was it a couple $1,000s?
Yeah, I talked to the customer, that whole big giant stupid freight route liner. He said he paid $2,500 to get it shipped, and I seen, because I worked extra money out of him, I seen $1,500 of that. So he wasn't very happy knowing he spent that much money, and that $1,000 went to the broker's hands.
Yeah. They do keep a lot. There's carriers that do the same.
There's a lot of greedy people out there.
Oil fields rough on equipment. That's the one thing we have heard. Only 5% of brokers are good. The rest are thieves.
I agree with that statistic. Yeah. Absolutely. There are some very good brokers out there. And it seems like the really small ones, especially if you call and there's an older guy or lady that call, it's just kind of a husband and wife team. They're the ones that want to take care of other people still. But then there's some that they're too big.
And they don't care.
They don't care at all.
But yeah, those smaller brokers, we usually get really good pay. Several of them as lately has even been well over $2 a mile. They seem very fair and they're very good about it. There's only like a handful that we like to work with.
Yeah.
Because the rest are thieves.
They are thieves. That's about right. There's too many brokers.
And Robert, agree on Landstar Ranger.
They're the worst.
Yes. Robert really don't like Landstar Ranger. Oil field is rough. These lease roads are not paved. Stuck in my old house once for 10 years. I heard they are rough. And Happy Pappy if you're doing add motorcycles partial. Yeah, that's I guess a good idea. Ant Mountain, they're usually in U-ship motorcycles, I'm assuming. Oil field roads are bad. Talking about the motorcycles. Oh, Michael was in Columbus on the 4th of July. We were in the Polaris area. I don't know if you're familiar with Columbus at all.
Northern, right there on the tip of northern Columbus.
Just off of 71.
Michael Bellows.
Short hauls, what's your daily goal or amount? You mean, I really don't like taking anything that's under $700 unless it's just to fill a gap in time. Like you drop something off, you can't pick up something till later to fill a small gap. I don't really like to. But I don't know. I think when we've done like the small ones that are just a couple hundred miles, we like to stay around at least $700.
Yeah. Plus, it keeps me mentally sane.
Hauling bikes for a while, you don't need an MC. I don't know anything about that. What is our insurance cost per year? Well, for us alone, for 6 months, what did it go down to? $3,700 for 6 months? Because it started out at 42 the first 6 months.
Right.
And then the next renewal went down to $3,700 for 6 months. But now we have 3 drivers on there. So that's what our cost is for just our truck. 400 miles or less. Yeah, I would at least try to, depending on the miles, say 700 plus.
Short haul for Michael's 400 miles or less. Yeah.
He's south of Columbus, near Cincinnati. Yeah, that's a good area too. He's gonna send his number. They're talking about motorcycles. Happy Pappy.
What?
Nothing. Why?
This is all messed up. Plus, I don't know where you're at.
Jeff said he's 7 miles south of Columbus, closer to Cincinnati.
Oh, I see. Nice. That business out of
Yeah.
Columbus. That's easy.
Columbus is a good area. Skull has said he'll send his number. Then, like I said, Aunt Mound and Happy Pappy, they're all talking about the motorcycle and weight. MC requirements doesn't have a weight aspect, you're gonna see. So they're still talking about that.
Yeah, which I don't understand it. I mean, if you're hauling something for hire, you have to have, MC number.
Michael, were you off of 71 at a Petro? Because then we stopped on the way back off of 71 on the Sunbury exit. Is there a Petro there? That'd be funny if we're on the same exit.
I know there's a Flying J and a Pilot, both.
Yeah, and there's something else in that exit too. I don't think there's any on the Polaris exit. But that's funny. Small world, right? And Happy Pappy, they're all still talking about that. But
What about Bob?
I probably need to wrap up here soon. Got to get ready for another week. Got a couple people coming and starting, and
So you're about done with it.
about done with it. Sorry, you're gonna have to wrap up your screen time.
Well, I can stay on. Go on.
No, you got work to do too. There's a Petro and across the highway TA. Trying to think of what exit that would be on.
Oh, maybe South Columbus. Where's the TA? I don't know.
I don't know.
I can't think where that was.
Yeah, I don't know either. Well, you're ever in the Ohio area again, let us know. And Robert, you have a load lined up for this week already for tomorrow? What are you doing? What are you doing?
You were talking.
So what are you doing?
I was waiting for Robert. Yeah, the helper's back.
You're going to Denver? Really?
Well, good. So we don't have to fight for a load for between him and
I
John.
know. We thought we were going to be fighting you for loads for you and John. So you already have yours. Let us know how Denver goes.
That's good.
We haven't been out there and we haven't sent anybody out there yet. So I'm anxious to see how it goes. I bet it's really pretty too.
Sure it is. Of course, I've been there before.
When you were like 4.
That's 3.
Yeah.
I remember.
Right. Well, unfortunately, you're gonna have to wrap up your screen time. Same for you,
No, I
Marissa.
want to put my YouTube channel name on my phone.
I already seen it.
No, there was like 2 people on. So.
Oh, you're going out to all the way out to Utah, Robert? That's gonna be cool. Because I'm interested to know how that goes. The YouTube people come in handy, huh?
Sure do.
I know it's all about helping each other. But I'm interested to see how going out to Utah goes. I've seen a lot of loads to Utah lately. All going to the same town. Have you noticed that? What is going on in that town?
Anything coming out?
I don't know. We hope everyone has a good, safe week too. Utah, is that where it is? Salt Lake City, the Mormons.
I see.
Hey, Carl, you are late to the party. Did you just come on here? We're getting ready to say goodbye.
Yeah, Carrie's cutting it off. She has more important things to do. I'm sorry, I want to stick in there, but
I will stick in.
I
for
guess
Mom.
it's time.
Mm-hmm.
6 more kids. It's a lot of child support. I agree. Too much child support. Well, I guess we'll cut this off here soon. Sorry, Carl. A little late to the game, but glad you showed up. Before we, I guess, say goodbye, we got 35 people. If you guys at least hit that like button for me.
Yeah, that'd be nice to actually finally get those numbers up. And Skullhead, I'll be checking my email, and Justin can help you figure out the whole truck weight trailer thing.
Try to figure it out.
Your area.
If not, we'll guess. We'll just make something
Guess.
up. No,
Guesstimate.
we'll get it figured out.
Yeah,
Don't want to put you out there and have you not compliant.
right.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that's overloading their truck and trailer, and luckily DOT hasn't called up with them yet. So I like to do stuff right, so we'll figure it out. So
Apparently, we're gonna have we got some emails to check. Michael sent one too, and Michael Harris did too. Michael, you can send us a message. I'm curious how you're doing. Hopefully, you're up and getting things moving.
yeah, hopefully.
Mm-hmm. We got to see Michael when we're out in Texas.
Yeah, shout out to Michael.
That was nice.
Him and his wife took us out to get some Texas barbecue, and I've been drooling about that ever since.
We gotta talk for quite a while. That was really nice. That's one of the nice things about this whole YouTube thing is we've met a lot of neat people and learned a lot from people. It's
Absolutely.
been nice, really nice. David, can't wait for your next videos. Sounds good, David. Keep in touch. Let us know what's going on. Mound, South Georgia. What? Nobody knows. He must still be out on that party boat.
Yeah.
That
Maybe
must be
that's
what
what he
he's
is.
rambling on about.
Yeah.
Robert, are you still out on the party boat? Yeah, we'll have to.
Yeah, I figure you don't eat meat, so if there's any extra, I'll eat the barbecue. I'm okay with that.
All right.
So, will you let her give one more shout out to her channel,
To herself.
to herself?
They're leaving.
We have Justin Jr. here. Negan, what do you see? He needs to go out.
He wants to play.
Was he trying to get in one more
He
time?
must be. Carl getting a trailer this week. Good. I'm glad to see that. Hopefully it all works out.
How's that going? Are you and your son planning on getting out there then? I know you had said something to me on Facebook, which that reminds me, we do have a Facebook page for those of you who are interested. I try to keep it up. Are you done, Marissa?
Yeah, down there.
So Justin Jr. here has a page.
Yeah, I'm sure all you hot shotters out there would just enjoy watching little kids talk about makeup. So that's your call there.
It's kind of the wrong audience, Marissa.
Happy subscribe.
Oh, see, now you got
There you
another
go.
shower.
Maybe he wants to make up I don't even know what. Is there a topic you guys are talking about there?
Gymnastics, anything.
Yeah, Happy
Yeah.
Pappy. If you want to start getting into gymnastics,
You picked the right channel.
yeah, you did.
He expects trucking videos.
Wait,
Yeah,
I'm supposed to be getting a plastic car, so maybe I can get a plastic truck and I can drive it around.
Not Miami. Take your time to get everything right. Good idea, Carl. Very good idea.
yeah.
All right, everybody. Hopefully the next time we do this, we'll be up to that 1,000 mark so we can actually have a better camera and a better setup here. But thanks for everybody coming out tonight. Thanks for all your emails. Thanks for everything. You guys have been great.
Yeah, I seen that Tonka truck. That's a big load to haul.
Vegan.
Hopefully they strap it down and chain and bind it correctly. All right. You guys have a good night. So we appreciate it.
Yep,
Um,
and we'll be here this week finding loads, and Justin will be back there coloring with his chubby crayons and using his safety scissors.
try not to eat the paste.
I had to take that paste away from him.
You took my paste?
I took your paste. No paste.
What
You're
am
gonna
I
have to
supposed to do
tape.
now? I started putting that stuff on bread and eating it.
Now you might actually have to do the work.
No, that's not gonna happen. 4-point securement. That's right.
All right, everybody.
Yep. So
Have a
thank
good
you
week.
guys.
Stay
God
safe.
bless. Stay
God
safe.
bless.
Now I'm gonna be safe.